Did you know that you can connect the Sustainable Development Goals with Solve in Time cards? I'm going to show you how in just a second. If you were to go to the website solveintime.com, go to solveintime.com and scroll on down to the bottom. Of course, this is where the fully expanded set is that some of the cards I'm going to show you exist. But if you go down to the freebie section, you will need to download the DIY Solve in Time print to play cards. If you don't have those base level cards, you can print those from here. Alternatively, you can download and print the dice. That is a fun little alternative if you prefer to use dice instead of cards. But in addition to that, what you're going to need are the Global Goals DIY add-on that you see here, also known as the SDGs. So you download those and you will have everything that you need: housing, criminal justice, education, pollution, poverty, and sickness and disease are those add-ons that you can see there. And you're just going to download those. Optionally, you can download the printable response sheet. So that's all you need in order to get started. Do this real quick. This is just using the regular standard slide deck that is on Solve in Time, and I just made some modifications, and you could do the same if you like. Very simple to do. But my goal here is to connect Solve in Time to the Sustainable Development Goals. In other words, my goal is to have students connect to these Sustainable Development Goals by solving problems that exist in their communities, because the 17 commitments of the SDGs really are aimed to end extreme poverty, inequality, and climate change by the year 2030. And so how we do that is really just to connect to the ways in which they see those different challenges in their communities and then solve those. And in doing so, they're actually targeting these sustainable development goals. Easy enough. So you can see here, I've just made some modifications to my slide deck in order to make sure that we are centering on the SDGs. I also want to give some resources if my students are already familiar with the SDGs of how to become familiar. And so this website is one of the many that exist. Moving into Solve in Time, all Solve in Time is a design thinking process that can be utilized for solving real world problems. So we're going to use the protocols of Solve in Time, combine them with the SDGs, and then have students share out their solutions creatively. I oftentimes, when utilizing Solve in Time, have my students commit to the following. You can see these here. They're also on the website. They are also embedded on the standard slide deck. So I'm not going to spend time here now, but know that that is part of my facilitation. I also optionally give students a downloadable, or have them digitally capture their notes in their small groups of 3 to 4 as they're working through the problem that they have selected. So the standard Solve in Time deck looks like this and goes through cards 1 through 5, and then the SOS card is a help card if necessary, and they get one chance to use that. All I do with the SDGs is just replace the problem card either with any of these 17 SDGs, or what I do is simplify it. And that is by pulling some cards from the Equity Edition or the Empathy Edition of Solve in Time, specifically these cards. So if I just replace the cards that exist with any of these, and these cards are also free to download from solveintime.com. So you can just have the downloadables, free to print cards if you don't have the official fully expanded deck, and that works just as great. But the way I work through the process is the way I would normally. Now I'm giving them time to consider whatever question they have behind their card, and we just move through the process of design thinking, right? With some time. By step 4, they are now starting to think about resources that are necessary. Reminder, on Solve in Time, each of these questions may look completely different for each group because they are randomized through who, what, when, where, why, or how questions. But things get really, really fun when we get to the share section. And that is where students are given the opportunity to either just choose from any of the above, or they may have the option of a sketch or a poster, a song or a speech, a story or a poem, a skit or a play. Things get very interesting when they share their solutions to those problems that are related to poverty and inequality, climate change, which we have already established are connected to the SDGs. And when they share those out, we want to do is give the students specific calls to action. Now, this is actually something that I want to give to you as educators as well. So not only do I want to encourage you to use Solve in Time to get those free to download resources, to use a slide deck, but also there are additional things that you can do. That includes, if you happen to have an Android phone, you can go to the Google Play Store and download the Samsung Global Goals. If you happen to have a Samsung device, this is pre-installed. So utilize this. Why is this incredible? Well, it will allow you to not only learn about the SDGs, but to also donate to a cause that you believe in. You also get money just by watching different ads, and Samsung will match penny to penny, dollar to dollar, whatever you contribute towards whatever goals that you are most passionate about. So there we're also connecting to SDG number 17, right, in partnership. I also want to give this opportunity out there, and that is to learn more about Samsung's Solve for Tomorrow program. Samsung donates tens of thousands of dollars each year to different student groups that aim to solve any of the SDGs utilizing STEM. So check out that website for sure. Maybe you will utilize Solve in Time as a protocol for an entry to Solve for Tomorrow. And if you happen to win a lot of money in order to contribute to continuing to solve global problems, then that is a major, major win. So again, go to solveintime.com, check out the free resources that are there at the bottom, or if you already have the fully expanded deck, you have everything that you need.